Permiteți-mi să-i dau cuvântul primului speaker din acest event de astăzi. Este vorba de Marco Mengotto. Marco este Financial Services Practice Leader EMEA la Dell Technologies. Marco va povesti cu noi astăzi, and I will switch to English. Hello, Marco. Welcome. I was just telling to our audience that you're going to share with us how to modernize with cybersecurity resilient multi-cloud data protection the businesses. You're going to give us some hints how you do it within Dell and for your customers. And I think we are all looking forward to hear your thoughts. I would also like to encourage all of you which are attending our event today to post your questions, because we will have some Q&A session at the end of each presentation, and Marco, of course, will be keen to share the insight and his answer. Marco, thank you very much for joining. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Andrea and Hugo, for inviting us. It's a real pleasure being with you today. I will quickly run through our presentation today, that is essentially explaining how Dell Technologies is playing a major role at the moment, especially in the financial services industry. I'm leading for Europe, Middle East, and Africa, the vertical for banking and insurance inside the core pre-sales for Dell. And essentially what I will explain you today is a quick overview about the customer priorities. Now, I'm mostly focusing on banking and insurance, but to be honest, the overall trends that I will show you today are really applicable to many different verticals with very few changes. How Dell is playing in this field with the mission and the strategy, an overview about the use cases, so everything that could be easily plug on top of the multi-cloud platform provided by Dell, and a quick wrap-up at the end about the digital innovation framework. So how to move from slide to the real life? That's a question that most of the time is extremely important to be answered. And the chat is open, so if you have any question, more than happy to provide you the Dell point of view. Now, talking about 2023 and the customer priorities, Dell is probably the number one or number two supplier to the top 100, top 200 FSI customers all over the world. And we are discussing with them since a very long time about their future plan. Now, talking about banking, innovation is somehow most of the time related to the customer experience at the end. But starting, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, especially on the other side of the ocean, most banks started thinking that the public cloud was the solution to all of their problems. As a matter of fact, they don't want to manage data centers anymore, but very soon they realized that moving all the workloads in the cloud with a cloud-first strategy probably wasn't the best strategy, because the cloud smart today is widely adopted and maybe is a new key trend. Why? Because they quickly realized that the core infrastructure, the core banking services, the core insurance services wasn't ready for a multi-cloud or a public cloud or a cloud-first approach. Thinking about the thousands and thousands of applications running in the data center, modernizing them so quickly to be cloud ready, it wasn't somehow impossible. We performed the cloud readiness assessment on thousands of applications of all the major banks all around the world, and out of thousands of them, just the one that was cloud ready, you can count them on your fingers, okay, on one hand. So this is a big challenge. And our customers now, most of the conversation are driven by the core revival. So how to modernize, evolve our core infrastructure to be hybrid ready or multi-cloud ready, and how to properly plan over the next 10 to 15 years, okay, the core application modernization with some key elements. The first one is extreme agility and flexibility. So don't waste resources, don't waste time on specific, remaking process, but rewriting the application with some projects of automation and integration, leveraging what is already existing in a multi-cloud approach, embedding all the security with that zero trust approach. And this is somehow important both over the infrastructure, cyber attacks are happening every day, but also about the other key elements. And I'm normally talking technologies are nothing, okay, without data, and technologies data are nothing without the people and the processes that are essentially connected to them. And this is the reason why the entire Dell Technologies strategy about the latest, okay, possibilities in terms of innovation and evolution are connected to the lower part of this slide. So the hyper-personalization, how to push the customer experience to the next level, even it is the business to consumer or business to business. And then how to leverage the new digital channels other than the traditional channel in a sort of omni-channel approach to get data, as many data as possible in real time. Companies like Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, and many others are collecting data in real time about all of their end users. And what the banks are really looking for is do the same. Why? Because those data properly managed and filtered in terms of quality are supporting the intelligent decision making. So it's part of the robotic process automation, leveraging artificial intelligence to push all the other components to the next level. Think about the customer experience. Think about having the 24/7 interaction of end user with digital avatars. Probably later someone will talk about the generative AI. And it's connected to the customer experience at the end, having digital avatars appearing everywhere on mobile phone tablets or smart totems, or what we are calling the tiny branch or the micro branches for banks that could be placed everywhere, essentially. Those assistants can appear in front of you and support you, and you can interact with them through the voice. But in the meantime, those entities are collecting a lot of data about you. And those data are ingested into a data lake, and you can perform analytics on them, and you can get a lot of value out of that data lake. And what the customer are reporting us today is, we know we are sitting on a gold mine of data. We have a lot of siloed data at the moment, but we don't have any idea about how to effectively extract in a short time some value out of those data. And we are struggling more about how to apply this value to the business. And this is a key factor, another key factor that we are embedding inside the Dell strategy and mission, because especially banking, but also the insurance, is progressively becoming a technology sector. And this is true also for many other verticals. 99.999% of the time, a digital transformation initiative or project is always translated into a set of IT components. It could be software platforms, it could be software infrastructure, it could be a ready-to-use services in any of the public clouds. And how to connect all of those together, how to properly support the customer on two different aspects. The first one is how to introduce innovation through operational resilience and excellence. So you have to protect the business in the meantime you are introducing innovation, but also on the other side, how can trusted technologies, maybe emerging technologies, can create new opportunities? A few years ago, the blockchain was probably the biggest opportunity for all the verticals. Today, think about the quantum computing. I had an amazing meeting yesterday with a company that is partnering with us. His name is IonQ. Today, quantum computing is somehow still in an exploring phase. But in just 2 years, they are running so fast. In just 2 years, they will be able to completely disrupt any kind of market, especially when we are talking about AI and machine learning. So the challenges today are many, especially from a banking perspective. The risk and security, risk and compliance, the customer engagement experience is another key aspect, the scalability, the regulatory, and the work from anywhere. We are embedding our products into native solutions that are pre-qualified and well connected to all the software platforms to serve the typical banking and insurance use cases. We are matching our expertise. Don't forget, Dell is owning a bank inside. We are deploying the biggest blockchain project all over the world to support the smart contracts of the Dell e-commerce platform. And Dell is also a digital company, so we are learning a lot about our data transformation journey, and we are sharing this experience with our customer. We are shaping this experience into 3 key streams, and we created 7 key IT solution stream. The first one is about the digital transformation support. So providing a multi-cloud platform, fully automated, okay, with intrinsic security and sustainability. One of the particular pain point of our engineering is about the sustainability in terms of the environmental impact, the carbon footprint reduction, and the end-to-end, okay, value chain from Dell, fully optimized from a green perspective, and then enabling the 6 categories, the modern application development. So picking everything that was written maybe 40, 50 years ago, still alive today, and modernize it, adopting all the new technologies, the modern workplace, allowing people to work from anywhere. Think about the trading floor, think about all the specific goal personas in finance, the virtual offices, the virtual branches, our new, completely fresh new conversation we are having with our customer, and at the same time, embedding all technology to protect the business from a physical point of view. Think about the branch offices and the ATMs with computer vision, supported AI, computer vision to protect them, and also the cyber recovery and the security operations center as well. And then probably where there is the biggest opportunity in terms of innovation, that is the high performance computing today based on legacy computational technologies from Intel, as an example, with the GPUs, adoption from NVIDIA, and the partner ecosystem there is extremely wide, but very soon it will be translated into a quantum computing opportunity. And it's amazing what will happen in the next 2 to 3 years. But thinking about customer experience, the conversational banking, thinking about how to get the money, the Monte Carlo simulation, the risk assessment, the derivative pricing, how to push them to the close to real-time insights, and the data monetization. Think about real-time fraud detection, the anti-money laundering, and the customer 360. From an insurance perspective, more or less the story is the same. We are just focusing more on the claims handling, processing, and fraud from that point of view, but all the rest is valid. And as I said, the Dell value, the Dell role is translating those initiatives. So, Mr. Customer, what do you want to invest in terms of innovation? Which of those use cases are important for you? And then we are supporting you, translating those digital use cases into an IT set of technology that could start from the infrastructure, on-prem, co-located, or in the public cloud, leveraging the software-defined or the hardware-defined versions of those, and then embedding all the regulation and compliance tools for comply with GDPR, PSD2, PCI DSS, and so on and so forth, keeping your data safe. And then for each of the most important categories, offering to the customer the best of breed technologies available in the market, and support the customer combining the key components into solutions to properly match the use cases that are important. And the message there, Dell, like the public cloud, are your marketplace for ready-to-use embedded, okay, components. You can easily pitch Dell as your marketplace for the hybrid approach. So combining the on-prem with the public cloud and eventually the co-located components. So we have a huge catalog of partners that are working with us. Our account team are essentially matched with the partner account team, and we are extending essentially our capabilities, having the opportunity to talk to different organizations, but at the end, combine a centralized offering in terms of infrastructure and all the workloads that are running on top of it with the most important key brands in the market. For each of the category, the best of breed is partnering with Dell, and we have ready to implement, ready to use solution, fully automated and embedded inside our hybrid multi-cloud platform. And as I said, there are different kind of opportunities right now from a natural language processing perspective, from a generative AI perspective, and breaking data silos, the data management. So all the key elements that are part of every digital transformation program are somehow supported by the Dell Digital Innovation Foundation framework. I was mentioning at the beginning how to move from slides to the real life. And that's exactly our value there. We have a lot of experience. We are working with the most important customers all over the world, and we are learning a lot from all of them. So our offering right now is structured into a framework that is starting from the edge, and edge in finance is somehow something that is quite complex, maybe more clear when we are talking about the insurance, because lots of sensors are available inside the car, inside the facilities, inside homes. But when talking about finance, edge is essentially the way the end user are interacting with the digital channels. And having the opportunity to get more and more data from the traditional channels as well, how to ingest all of those data from the edge to the core, how to perform the data quality, how to perform the data ingestion, the ETL and so on, to have those data ready to be analyzed through a modern data pipeline. And the modern data pipeline really means a lot of things, not only from an infrastructure perspective, but also from a processes perspective, because you have to ingest, transform, analyze, and productize those data with proper machine learning models. How to support the customer, how to know the value of the data, how to combine the value of the data for the business as well. And this is a key element of our offering over this specific stage. And then the final one, once you have all data available for the business, how to properly analyze them, how to connect those data to the software platforms that are serving your customers. And this is a complete new stream that could be validated with the multi-cloud platform as well, and a deep integration, especially with the DevOps and the integration platforms. So it's a quick pitch, I know. Apologize if I don't speak Romanian, but the value from Dell is huge. We can support the customer on any kind of use case at the moment. We can properly shape the multi-cloud landing zone for each of the specific steps inside the digital innovation framework process. And feel free to reach out to my counterparts in Romania as well, to get more and more information about, because Dell is investing a lot, combining the core offering with the extended partner offering right now, and the results are extremely impressive. Thanks, Andrea. I hope I'm in time.
Yes, you've been right on time. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing with us all these valuable insights from Dell's side. I have one question for you, because you did mention the customer engagement experience, especially within the banking sector. Which are the challenges that you see in a faster adoption from an internal customer perspective in banking? Because traditionally speaking, banking is also an industry very strict, very regulated. Sometimes, you know, the openness towards new technology, new ways of doing business might not be so open and easy to get. From that customer perspective, which are the challenges do you see, and how are you leveraging on those ones to really support your solutions and products?
Yeah, thanks for asking. It's a great question, by the way. And I have to say, the customer experience and the customer engagement at the moment is probably one of the major priorities of every CIO, especially in terms of innovation. Now, the biggest shift that the banking faces today is the translation and let me say, the standardization of the processes for combining the traditional channels, so the physical branches, the human-to-human interaction, with the new offering that are available through the digital channels. And as you can imagine, today there is a huge gap, because the human-to-human interaction is a brain-to-brain. So our brain, luckily for us, is somehow powerful, very, very powerful to manage the customer engagement. On the other side, the digital channel are somehow relying on an intelligence that is completely different, is somehow pre-written, is somehow not so flexible in terms of customer adaptation, and exactly what the customer are asking for. How can we improve our digital channels to match the same experience that the customer are getting from the traditional ones in an omni-channel approach? Think about the retail, think about the healthcare. There are many other areas where this is happening. And our key role there is deeply analyzing the way the customer are engaged, and whether the bank or the insurance is essentially willing to provide enough innovation and build the entire stack to support this. I was mentioning the avatars, the digital avatars are important. They are talking to you. So think about ChatGPT. but able to talk to you, to interact with you, to understand. So the easiest part is understand what you're asking for. The hardest part is create an answer that is good for you. And maybe a bank, I don't know, just to mention the big one, okay, Credit Suisse can provide an answer, but UBS is providing another one, BNP Paribas is providing another one. So how to be flexible enough and powerful enough to build those answers in real time effectively, like a human-to-human interaction. And it's a big challenge. And think about how many languages are there, how many dialects are there today. Understanding each time, understanding the kind of person is in front of the camera and is asking for. So the customer profiling, the customer 360, and building in real time the right answer for him. All of those are open question at the moment, and the technology is providing answers step by step. But very, very soon, something amazing will be available.
Thank you very much, Marco, once again for being with us today and sharing all this insight. It's clearly that the technology will be the answer of all these upcoming challenges. And I think it's up to us, the human beings, to embrace it openly and not being afraid, right, of the effects and consequences of the technology in our lives and in our businesses equally. Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.